Alright, we're back with integers, back with our goal here, which is adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing integers, and then applying our understanding to substitution problems, which I did yesterday, and exponent problems is the new thing today. I'm going to start just with a bit of a definition of exponents here, and this is actually, I think, a great way to visualize it. So here we see the repeated multiplication that goes on. We're taking what we're going to call our base here, this 3, and we're changing its power or its exponent, and you can see underneath the repeated multiplication. The new thing for you guys now is that we can get into this with negative numbers as well, right? So if we had negative 2 squared, we have that base, that negative 2 times itself. And notice the sign changes. Now we're multiplying 3 negative numbers, we get a negative again. Multiply 4 negative numbers, we get a positive, and you can see what's happening here. So our definition of an exponent is that piece there, the index or the power, and then the base is the 8 that we're talking about. So let's just kind of write a few of these out just so we get our heads around how this looks. We're asking the question, how do we use exponents with integers? So in this case, I'd like you to write this out. The base is multiplied by itself. So we've got negative 3 times negative 3, which gives us a positive number, a positive 9. In this next case over here, the negative is not attached to the base. It's like we have this happening. It's like we have negative bracket 3 squared, so which would be negative bracket 3 times 3, which would be negative 9. To get rid of those brackets, okay? So two totally different questions, just depending on where that negative is sitting, whether it's attached to the base inside these brackets or outside the brackets, not attached to the base. So watch for those. You're going to be using order of operations as well here, so I'm going to kind of, again, write out a repeated multiplication. Negative 3 times negative 3, because that's squared as well, minus a negative 4 times a negative 4. Lots of signs to watch for too. Make sure you're seeing, make sure you're seeing all those signs. I don't need my squareds anymore because I showed that repeated multiplication. So this would be 4 plus 9 minus 16, 13 minus 16, negative 3 on the second question there. On A. This guy is new because we now see this. We now see 2 brackets or 2 groups of the brackets or 2 times whatever's in the bracket. So I'm going to write it like that. We've got 2 times, I'll use those big square brackets, negative 4 times negative 4 because that one was squared, plus a negative 3 times negative 3 because that one was squared, and we'll close that big bracket. On the bottom we have a negative 5 times a negative 5 because that was squared as well. So in the top we have 2 brackets, 2 groups of 16 plus 9. On the bottom we have 25. So in the top, 2 groups of 25. And notice I'm just working down the page. I'm doing one step at a time. Over 25 at the bottom. So 50 over 25 equals 2. Alright. Last thing we're going to look at here is some substitution using some letters now. So we're putting in some terms, we're putting in some variables. The 9 is going to go in here, the 2 is going to go right in there. So we have 9 minus 2 squared, 9 minus 4, this one just works out to 5 because we substituted in our values for m and n. And I suggest you use these brackets just to make sure you got everything in the right place. It's going to get more complicated when you have signs going on and stuff too. So this is 9 squared, substitute in that 9 minus 2 squared over 9 plus 2. And in this case, yeah, again, the brackets just kind of keep the numbers to themselves. 8 on the top, 81 minus 4 divided by 11. So we have 77 divided by 11, and that's equal to 7. So I'm just working down the page, doing one step at a time. Alright, so pause the video, go back and write those down if you didn't get everything down, and then you've got some exponents questions to do, whoops, and then some chapter review questions to do today. 2 sets, getting ready for test on Friday, test tomorrow. Thanks guys.